Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the first edition of the Purple and Gold Hoops podcast. This is Adam,
This is Kevin.
and we're going to be bringing you all your Lakers content. So if you can hit that like and subscribe button for us, that'd be great. And hopefully you like the show, so sit back and enjoy. First thing I want to get to, man, what did you think about that Clippers loss opening night?
The Clippers loss was almost embarrassing, because you look at the Clippers like it's like this is like my little brother.
Mm-hmm.
I don't expect him to do anything, and when they came out and beat us, I just felt embarrassed, honestly.
Yeah. Especially no PG. The hype surrounding the whole game from when the schedule came out in early to mid August, like that was the talk of the town for 2 months.
Yeah.
All the way down to tip off when LeBron was getting hyped before the game and all that, like to come out so flat, and it just wasn't a good look for me, man. Like I don't know how else to put it, but they didn't show up.
What's even more embarrassing is like in the preseason, Lakers were running tons of pick and roll.
Mm-hmm.
Lakers were running through teams like crazy, and you were just like, "Wow, this offense is gonna be explosive. We're gonna dominate teams."
Getting the ball to AD early and often.
And then the game started, and it felt like it felt like watching like old clips of Shaq and Kobe.
Yeah,
like, LeBron passed the ball over to Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis went to work, and if he needed to, he would kick it out.
Mm-hmm. Well, but what was bad about it to me was the Clippers started out with Zubac in the starting lineup guarding AD, and Doc switched that within 2 or 3 minutes, and Montrezl Harrell came in, Lou Williams came in, and they just blew the Lakers out of the water. So it wasn't even like the starters did it.
Yeah,
like we're getting our tails handed to us by the bench, and Clippers are a great team. They're going to be there at the end of the year, but man, you had to come out and set a tone for that first game, because especially playing in Staples Center together and all the hype surrounding everything, that wasn't a good look to me.
Yeah, their bench outscored us. I mean, but I think their bench is going to outscore most teams because that's how they're built.
Mm-hmm.
You have Lou Williams. He's like, to me, he's the
six-man god,
professional scorer.
Yeah,
like when you know how they say Steph Curry is like effortless. Mm-hmm. He is a professional scorer. He's always getting people to foul him.
Mm-hmm. That fadeaway leaning left, we saw it a lot as Lakers fans a couple years ago, and
now
I
loved it back then.
Yeah, now we gotta get defeated by it. But it's something else, and I don't know how they're gonna attack the Clippers. I mean, I know the game plan is always going to be to get the AD the ball, especially against the Clippers with their lack of size and having Paul George and Kawhi Leonard on the wings. But the Lakers didn't look ready for that at all, and that worries me. Maybe it was a trip to China, but I don't know. Maybe it was poor preparation from the coaching staff. But I am very pleased with what Vogel's doing.
You know what? It took 7 other games, but I'm on Vogel's side outside of his name, his ugly name.
Yeah, you hate that name, man. You hate that. It's about the 3rd time tonight that you've mentioned it.
He's got the ugliest name in the game. Like, hey, my name is Frank Vogel.
We'll get used to saying that name a lot because we hopefully make a deep playoff run this year. So, I mean, if the man takes us to the finals, I'll say his name all he wants.
And unless Jason Kidd takes his job.
Nah, I think the strong start kind of put those rumors to bed. I don't think that's a possibility anymore. Earlier in the season, I did wonder, though, but right now, Frank Vogel's doing everything right, especially the halftime adjustments.
Yeah, his defense is doing really well. I mean, they're ranked number one.
Number one, yep.
Yeah,
just held Miami to 80 points for the whole game. They held them to 34 in the second half. That you can't ask for much better than that.
Especially in today's NBA, guys are like averaging 100 points per game,
110, 100 something.
Yeah, no one's playing any defense. I think Houston played a game and they scored 150?
159, yeah. They scored 159 and got a 1-point win against Brooklyn. So, I mean, it was 159, 158. But that shows you something. And the fact that the Lakers come out and LeBron has said this a few times this year, they really hang their hat on the defensive end of the ball or end of the court.
Yeah.
And that's what they want their identity to be. AD came out preseason and said he wanted to be Defensive Player of the Year. The whole team has been talking about since training camp defense, and they're playing great defense, especially in the 7-game win streak. I mean, you don't get a 7-game win streak without playing some sort of defense.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, AD's he's leading the league in blocks.
Yeah, what's he got? I think 3.5 now a game.
3 blocks per game. I think he's like third when it comes to rebounds. So he's putting in his part. I have no qualms with AD whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. And then the Lakers are leading the league in blocks as well with 8 a game or something. I know a few games back they had 10, but overall they're number 1 in the league in blocks as a team.
Yeah.
And a lot of that comes from who'd ever thought Dwight Howard.
Oh my God!
7 years ago, we were cursing this man's name.
That is a subject in itself.
Exactly.
Dwight Howard. Thank you. That's all I have to say because I used to hate Dwight Howard, especially the way he came off when the Lakers really wanted to re-sign him,
mm-hmm.
and he was
the billboards to stay D12 or whatever it said,
and he straight up bounced on us. I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah, I think a lot of that had to do with Kobe. Kobe really didn't like him and made his year hell. And Dwight has come out and said numerous times since then that he really shouldn't have even been on the court. He had a torn labrum and he had just came off of back surgery. But he wanted to show the Lakers fan base what he could do so bad. He came back when he really shouldn't even have been playing. He shouldn't have played that whole year, he says. I don't know how true that is, but, I mean, he did it. He played, and we don't have the fondest memories of Dwight Howard in purple and gold, but he's turning that around this year. His energy, his effort, the way he pumps the crowd up, gets everybody going. Even when he's not getting a whole lot of minutes, he's on the bench motivating guys, basically telling them. He was mic'd up recently. He was on the bench talking about, yo, why are we sitting down? We're the Bad News Bears. Get up. Get up. And you saw Troy Daniels get up. You started to see Quinn Cook get up. And you saw more energy on the bench, which fed to the starters. And he's doing a lot. And I'm liking the energy and what Dwight is bringing to the table, especially defensively.
I really appreciate his defense, his rebounding. He's really coming off the bench and doing what he needs to do, keeping his head down, putting in the work. I just hope it can last the entire season because we're only 8 games in out of 82 games. And I need him to be the way he is. Because, I mean, if he continues playing this way, there's no way in hell the Lakers can keep him next year. We wouldn't be able to afford it.
Yeah, but that's the goal. Like, that was what the Warriors' goal with Boogie was last year. That's what our goal was with Boogie before he tore his ACL in the middle of the summer, was that we hope you come in and you outperform this contract so far that somebody is going to pay you and we can't do that.
Yeah.
Because that means, we're going to lose you, but that means you played incredible, and think about how the team is playing now because you're doing so well. You're the 4th, 5th, 6th option, whatever the case may be. Yeah. And hopefully at the end of the year, that means we get a championship.
True.
But
because prior to this, every time he got traded, I was smiling.
Yeah, I mean, when he left us for Houston, I was sitting there and I was cursing his name. I hope Dwight never wins a ring. Granted, I never thought he would be back. But now he's back, and it's like, do I despise him so much that I don't want us to get? I mean, we're trying to get 17. That's serious. Tying the Celtics. We spoke about this a little bit before we started recording and what that meant to us. And I think all Laker fans feel the same way. We want not only 17, but we want 18 as well. We want to be the top of the NBA, even though we're already kind of viewed as such. We want to say we have the most championships, the most trophies, and that's the big thing that LeBron has to bring us is at least 2.
Yeah,
he needs to bring us at least 2, and Dwight is going to be a big part of that this year. Like you said, if he keeps playing the way he's playing.
Yeah.
He's doing everything though. What's he averaging for steals? Because I know he's getting a couple steals a game as well. He has to be around probably 1.5 maybe. I'm not too sure. We'll look that up right now. But he's even playing defense well on the perimeter.
He is.
He's getting out. He's being able to switch. He's checking smaller guards and.
Yes, because last year I was like, dude, what are you doing then?
Mm-hmm.
Like, supposedly we were going to get LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I see, we got the old man.
Dwight Howard, 0.6 of a steal game, 1.9 blocks.
Oof.
So I gave him a little bit extra credit on the steals part. But, I mean, the fact that he has any steals, he's a big man, and he's never played perimeter defense. So that's a testament to his hustle and the defensive scheme from Frank Vogel. And I think a big overlooked factor in the offseason was who we added on our coaching staff along with Frank Vogel. They got another defensive wizard. Who's the assistant coach? Not Jason Kidd. Lionel Hollins.
Lionel, I like him.
He's known for his defense as well. Yeah, and he's been around the block many a times, and I honestly think that you put two great defensive minds in Frank Vogel and Lionel Hollins.
Yeah, you're going to get some.
Yeah, that's why we're seeing the number one defense in the league, and this defense right now is nasty. Yeah. Granted, it's been against a few subpar teams, but they did play Dallas on the road. They won that game. San Antonio. And
the defense is what helped win that game because we were down against Dallas.
Yeah. We're down because we came out slow, though. But that's the theme of all 8 games. I don't care if it was the first one, the loss, or any of the 7-game win streak. The Lakers come out slow every night. Ugh. And it's killing me. It's eating me up inside because they can't keep doing it. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's them not being prepared enough from the coaching staff, or if they just don't take people seriously and they just think they can turn on the switch whenever they want. But when they come out for the third quarter and the second half, completely different team, especially defensively. I feel like they start to lock people down defensively in the second half after they make their adjustments and things like that. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what this issue is, like where it's coming from or how for them to fix it, because the second halves look amazing.
Do you think it has anything to do with the fact that, we're one of the last teams, I think we're ranked like 27th when it comes to pick and roll, and we're not really getting everyone involved. It looks like an 80s show. Mm-hmm. Like I'm watching Wilt Chamberlain, the owner's up there saying, just give Wilt the ball, let him go to work. Right. And the rest of the Lakers are just standing around like, kind of like when the Lakers were standing around watching Kobe. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting there saying like, okay, when is the ball going to start moving? Because then we can get those open 3-point shots. Because, as much as I love Danny Green, I don't want him moving out of the way every time he has to take a 3-point shot.
You're talking about on defenders running out towards him, he pump fakes and has sidestepping to get the flyby.
Exactly. He's been doing it quite often to the point where I don't believe we're getting good enough spacing out of our players. Mm-hmm.
But that issue is gone when they come out for the second half. So how are they able to correct it in 15 minutes, but they come out so sluggish? That makes me feel that it's bad preparation on the coaching staff, because if they were well prepared, they would come out and start the game like that, because we still haven't seen 48 minutes of good basketball from this team, despite the 7-1 record, despite the best defense in the league and being tied with the Celtics for the best record in the league. We haven't seen them put together a full 48 minutes. Yeah. So how do they manage to fix that at halftime, but they come out so sloppy?
Well, I'd like to see him play. I'd like to see this coaching staff play a team a second time to see if they approach it the same way, because that will justify whether it's just bad preparation or they just came out with a bad game plan. Mm-hmm.
And I get it. They're not going to come out on fire every night and dominate people. You're going to have off nights. I understand. But we'll get that opportunity to see them a second time against the same team coming up here shortly with Oklahoma City. They have a doubleheader coming up against them, a home and home.
That game's going to be garbage.
Yeah, I don't believe it's a back-to-back. It's a
like,
day to travel in between. But it's a home game for the Lakers, and they go to Oklahoma City.
Yeah, I don't understand why the NBA does that.
Yeah. They just started doing that a couple years ago, and it drives me insane. I can't stand it. Because when I first started falling in love with basketball and I started watching basketball, you didn't play the same team back-to-back nights unless it was the playoffs.
Yeah.
So they started doing this in the regular season, and
Yeah, why would you play someone in LA
and fly to Oklahoma City? Basically, y'all might as well take the same plane.
Exactly.
Like, let's have a great kumbaya, and it's something else. But the Lakers have played a lot of bad teams, as I said, and I want to see them against good competition.
Yeah,
and that's why the Clippers game was so big to me, because that's supposed to be at the start of the season. Lakers Clippers 1-2 best teams in the league. Championship was going through Staples Center at some point with one of those teams, and they came out and they laid a goose egg. They lost by 10.
Yeah. Patrick Beverley was
former Laker Patrick Beverley, yes sir. And but they have beat the Jazz. They have beat the Mavs. I think the Mavs are legit.
Yeah.
With Doncic and Porzingis.
The Mavs are
Doncic might sneak up as a dark horse MVP candidate this year. He's balling out.
He is.
Still 20 years old. That's scary.
Dang.
He's scary.
Well, the only thing that doesn't scare me about Doncic is he has like no athletic bone in his body. He's just crafty. I mean, he's just.
There's been
crafty.
plenty of players in the past that were just crafty and not athletic. Bro, Steve Nash.
Yeah.
Do you consider him athletic?
No, not whatsoever.
One of the greatest point guards ever.
But he couldn't finish it.
John Stockton couldn't finish it.
Yeah, I mean sometimes.
But Doncic is 6'7", man. He still has size.
With all the wing players in the NBA today, I can't see Doncic. Like, I just can't see it happening right now.
We'll see in 5 years where we're at with it, but yeah. I think in 5 years you're going to be talking about, oh man, you called it.
But look, this is what I'll give him. You got Doncic and you got Porzingis, and Porzingis is still playing like he's injured. Mm-hmm. He looks like he's playing through an injury.
Yeah.
So when he gets back to being, he
missed 19 months too. Let's add that in there, because he got hurt in January with the Knicks. Didn't play at all last season, and calendar months it was like 19 months. So you can't expect him to come hitting the ground like.
If he wasn't too busy getting knocked out in Russia, he might be able to play.
Hey, man, I'm not going to criticize how these men live their lives, because if I had the money, I'd be traveling around the world too. But the San Antonio game in San Antonio, that was a big win as well.
Yeah. I'll give their Lakers respect for beating San Antonio. But when I watch San Antonio, I feel like they have no scoring options. They're just passing the ball around the perimeter, looking for open threes, and eventually they make them, but that's not going to get them over the hump. They need a scorer. So when I respect the Lakers for beating Pop, but I don't really respect them for beating the Spurs.
I don't think the Spurs ever really thought they had a chance to contend this year, though.
Oh, man.
I mean, but at the end of the year, I guarantee you we're going to see them in the playoffs. Well, not play them, but they will make the playoffs. They will be a top 8 seed in the West. They might sneak in as the 8 seed, but they'll be in the playoffs.
If they make it into playoffs with this team,
that's a huge success.
You might as well just give Pop
the
give him the MVP.
Yeah, but because we've been talking about the Spurs. Oh, when are they going to fall off this year for the last 3 or 4 years?
Mm-hmm.
This dude has them in the playoffs every year.
Yeah.
Even last year when they lost DeJounte Murray early in the season for the whole season.
That's true.
It still made the playoffs. Yes, he had DeRozan. Yes, he had Aldridge. But those are two players that take a lot of mid-range shots. And that's not the trend for winning basketball in the NBA. But he still got them to the playoffs last year.
True.
As a 7th seed. Not even 8th seed. 7th seed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think anybody expects San Antonio to contend. I don't even think they expect it. But he'll have them competing. And anytime you beat San Antonio in San Antonio, that's a big win. Yeah. Especially if you're the Lakers, because we know the rivalry behind it.
Yeah, because they hate us.
Exactly. So, I mean, I like that win. The Chicago game scared the hell out of me.
The Chicago game.
I didn't understand. Down 13 to start the fourth quarter. And
I mean, I only know one player that plays on Chicago.
Zach LaVine.
Yeah. So I don't understand why they were
about Lauri Markkanen, Kobe White. You to cut his hair with that.
I mean, Kobe White a rookie?
Yeah, he's a rookie. He's a rookie.
Look, I'm not even thinking about you if you're a rookie.
Okay.
Not unless you're like a superstar. Like if you were Zion Williams, Williamson, I think about you. I'm like, okay, he's going to be a factor in the game.
Mm.
But if you're Kobe White...
What about somebody like Cam Reddish? What do you think of Cam Reddish?
I mean, after that...
And that would make him the perfect third option because come the end of the game, when you have... There's something else that I wanted to talk to you about as well, the closing lineup. But when you have a closing lineup, you're going to have LeBron and AD there. A lot of people want Kuz there. Danny Green, Avery Bradley, that's 5.
Yeah.
So in that, if you run that lineup out, Kuz is obviously the third option. So I'm not so focused or worried about the lack of pick and roll play. It would be nice to see it more.
Yeah.
For just to get sure shots and in rhythm and everything like that. So I understand that point, but to say we can't have a third option without that, I don't agree with that part because I still think even if we're not playing pick and roll, Kuz can still provide that third option as long as when Vogel is staggering LeBron and AD, have Kuz out there.
Well, Kuzma, he may not be ready to be leader of any unit. I mean, keep in mind he's coming off a foot injury, so he probably can't really get off like he wants to get off.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's going to be that third option, he's going to need to be at least 70, 80%.
In shape, yeah.
Yeah.
But what do we think he's at now? Because it wasn't even a stress fracture. It was a stress reaction or whatever. And from what I understood, it's like it's levels to it, just like in everything else in life, there's levels to it.
Yeah.
And the first level of noticing it is stress reaction. Because a lot of this last little bit of conversation has been just NBA in general. You're a big Alex Caruso fan, my man.
Oh, yes. Yes. He needs more minutes. Alex Caruso needs...
Make your case.
Look, he's productive every single time he steps on the floor. The fans love him. He's athletic. He can dunk. He can guide your fast break. He can shoot. He can pass. He can rebound. Why isn't he getting more minutes? I mean, I would completely replace him with KCP. Like, hey, KCP, just take a seat on the bench. I'm going to put Alex Caruso over there, and I'll play with this. I want to see what this experiment looks like.
Do you want the honest answer to that question?
Yes.
Reputation. KCP has more of a defensive reputation and shown it more than Alex Caruso. People forget Alex Caruso was on a 2-way contract last year.
Yeah.
Fighting for a G League spot. Now, I'm not going to argue with your points about the athleticism. He's a fan favorite. I love the energy and hustle he brings to the game. But to say he needs more minutes, I'm honestly happy with where his minutes are now.
Really?
Yeah. The one issue I have about Caruso is I don't want him running points so much. I want him at the 2 because he's 6'5".
But he's a guy who could take pressure off of LeBron because he can run.
But I don't think he has a ball handling or shot creating ability to actually do it.
I don't know if he...
When I say shot creator, I mean a Jamal, somebody that's going to go get you like a Lou Williams. Lou Williams would be great for the Lakers.
So he's not a shot creator, but he could take a few possessions off of LeBron just by being there because he can run the show. But can he go get us
a bucket? He can run the show. He can run an offense. That's great. Can he get us a bucket? I don't think he can go. He can get us a bucket in the flow of the offense.
Yeah.
But can we give the ball to him clear out and let him? All right.
No, but that's what I want. I want him to get a bucket within the offense. I don't want him to go get a bucket on his own.
Yeah.
Because if that was the case, I might as well just sit LeBron down completely and have him run the show.
Nah, you don't want to sit LeBron down.
No, not for Caruso.
But
I do believe he deserves more minutes than KCP.
Mm-hmm. I get where you're coming with that, and I know a lot of Lakers fans feel the same way about KCP and just wish he would get, hell, at this point, even waived or cut.
Yeah,
just
something.
Let go, just even to free up for the roster spot,
Just take it.
But I'm still holding out hope. I don't. It's 8 games in. I know every season that we've had KCP on this roster, he's looked worse and worse and worse. But I'm just not at that point yet. I like where Caruso's minutes are at. I just don't like that they're running him at point so much. If they gave him the same amount of minutes and ran him at the 2 with LeBron and AD, I would like him more. Okay, got it. But I still feel that we need a ball handler, a shot creator. I know Caruso can handle the ball, can pull, can bring it up, run the offense, things like that. But he's not a shot creator. He's not a scorer.
No, that's not who he is.
So,
but given the role that KCP has, I think he'd be better at it.
Do you really think he's better defensively than KCP?
No, I think they're both okay. I mean, KCP was defending first game of the season. We played the Clippers.
He was on Kawhi a lot.
He was on Kawhi Leonard. He was there everywhere he needed to be. Mm-hmm. He played excellent defense, ineffective.
Right.
Kawhi got every shot he wanted, made every shot he made against him.
Kawhi's going to do that to a lot of people.
He is. But
I saw that against Portland. I knew exactly what was coming. And I'm sure if I knew Portland...
It's almost boring.
Yeah. And it's a bunch of mid-range, too, which 90% of NBA teams are telling their players, don't shoot the mid-range. If you're in mid-range, drive to the rim for a layup or dunk, or step back and take your chances to get the extra point.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's part of why Kawhi's so boring.
But see, then we put like other people on Kawhi when KCP went to the bench, and they were more effective against Kawhi. So I'm like, why are they being more effective than you are, even though you're where you need to, even though you're where you need to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to try it. I want to see it.
So you'd replace all of Caruso's minutes with all of KCP?
Well, I don't think that KCP should be in the starting lineup to begin with.
Well, he's not starting. He started the one game against Chicago when Bradley sat out. But if everybody's healthy, KCP's not starting. So Vogel isn't that dumb.
Yeah. So even though KCP's coming off the bench, give Caruso KCP's minutes. I'd rather see it.
And run him at
I
the
think
point
the
with
Lakers
who?
need that energy too.
And run him at point with who? LeBron? Keep LeBron out there at the point? Because it goes back to what is your closing five? And I know you say you don't have one and all that, but I mean, it can't be whoever's playing well. You have to have some sort of consistency. Some sort of roles that players, because that's when players start to play well, when they know their role. Why do you think Dwight Howard is playing so well? Because he knows and he's accepted his role.
Yeah.
That last thing, accepting his role, is what he didn't do in Houston, Charlotte, Atlanta, Washington, Memphis. His last previous stops.
He didn't like
this year. He knows that his career depends on.
I'm sure all those other coaches are pissed off because he's doing exactly what
he should have been doing for them. Yeah, but not, exactly. So, I mean, I feel like you have to know your role and accept it to thrive in it.
Yeah.
Whereas you're more willy-nilly. I feel like you're just like, whoever's playing well that game, put them out there.
Because there's no third scorer right now. Right now, we don't have a third scorer, so it's hard to say who's our closing lineup because you only really have two players.
Yeah, you're gonna have AD and LeBron. Yeah. Everybody's gonna have AD and LeBron up there.
Yeah,
but that leaves three spots, and I mean,
Kuz
is young, so you're gonna want to build his confidence and
13% from 3-point line.
I get it, and that's what
Danny Green is going to be the third guy for now.
But even then, he's had, one good game?
Yeah. The one good game against Dallas.
Yeah.
The other playoff team.
Uh-huh. And then after that, Troy Daniels had a good game. Quinn Cook had a good game. KCP for a game or two was playing okay. Caruso stepped up against Chicago and against Miami a lot. Which goes to your point. I like the energy and effort and hustle he brought to that game. I think that's what saved the Lakers that game, even though the stat sheet didn't show it. But I'm just not a fan of that third option bouncing around. I like that style if that's your fifth or sixth option.
Yeah.
But as a third option, that's too important.
Who's your starting five to close out the game?
Close out the game. Because we're closing it out, I want LeBron running point and holding the ball. When I say we need a shot creator and a scorer, I'm talking about everything outside of the last 5 minutes.
Okay.
Because I don't want LeBron holding the ball that much or running point at the beginning. At the end of the game, let LeBron run point.
Yeah.
Because he's going to make the best decisions.
Yeah.
So, LeBron at point, exactly. I'm probably going Avery, Danny Green, obviously AD, and then Dwight.
Dwight?
Dwight, yes.
Can't.
Why?
They'll foul him. They'll foul him.
Look up his free throws percentage. He's been shooting like 70% this year.
I know he's
It's
shooting.
not the same old Dwight Howard, man. This is not
LeBron does not change his strengths. Look, I've seen this story.
Okay, until he shows it to me and starts missing his free throws.
Oh, man.
But when he's going to the line, he's still 70, 80% right.
It's coming.
DeAndre Jordan became a good free throw shooter. Not elite, but he became... Look at what DeAndre Jordan did last year.
What did he do last year?
With the Knicks. As far as his free throw percentage, he went from about 30-40% with the Clippers and the Mavs. When he got to New York, it went up to 80.
It went to that.
Look it up. Last year, he about damn near doubled his free throw percent. DeAndre Jordan, I'm telling you.
When you play for the Knicks, people just forget about you.
I'm telling you, man. DeAndre Jordan shot from...
How many did he take? 3?
I don't know. I can't tell you the attempts per game. I tell you about the range of his percentage as far as attempts. I don't know all that. But as of right now, Dwight is balling. Dwight is balling.
I don't trust it.
Why don't you trust him?
Because I've watched Dwight Howard.
You'd rather give those minutes to Caruso.
I watched Dwight Howard.
You'd rather have LeBron, AD, and a bunch of guards.
And I am not ready to say, I'm just going to let Dwight Howard close it out.
Dude, Dwight has been nasty this year. Us Lakers fans, man, I understand when he left. What?
You're right.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Say that again. I was what?
He shot 77%.
Exactly, man.
Woo.
And he was shooting, 30-40% with Clippers? Couldn't even hit the rim?
Yeah, he couldn't buy a bucket.
Yeah. So if DJ sustained that for your whole year, let's say Dwight can. Now you're telling me you won't put him out on the floor in crunch time because they're going to foul him? But he's a 70-80% shooter.
I need to find out how many he took.
Look that up.
I promise you.
I bet it wasn't 20 a game. It was probably more like 3 or 4 a game. Okay. But still, when you're going from 30% to 77%, come on, man.
I mean, that's a huge jump.
He more than doubled it.
Yeah.
His percentage.
He took 66. He made 51. So
66 for the whole year?
Yeah, the whole year.
So he was about 1 a game.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's 77% and took so few. Yeah, exactly.
People are going to stop fouling.
Yeah.
But
so a small sample size, but we got small sample sizes here with Dwight. Why would the strategy for opposing teams change? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what I would honestly run Dwight and AD.
But as a coach, if I was a coach, I'm going to test it.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah,
and no one's going to harp on me about testing it.
Yeah, you have. You have to, even if it's just part of doing your due diligence. But at this point, inside, nobody is scoring on Dwight and AD. And then when you got LeBron at the 3, who's a legitimate 6'9", 6'10", and motivated defensively, you're not scoring inside.
Yeah, but are you more worried about scoring inside or scoring outside?
I'm more worried about protecting the paint. And I'm loving everything I'm seeing with AD and Dwight whenever they're in. JaVale, I like it, but to a lesser extent. Everybody forgive the sirens if you can hear that. But I'm loving what they're doing because teams are eventually going to want to attack the paint. And they're not getting no easy buckets with Dwight and AD in there. And then LeBron playing free safety like he's always done.
Yeah.
So I think that D is just lethal. And look, it's gotten us the number 1 defensive rating. So why go away from what's working right now?
We'll see. But
that's where I'm at with it. I know you'd rather have Caruso and Quinn Cook and Troy Daniels, Avery Bradley, and LeBron.
Dwight Howard's free throws.
Sit AD too because he apparently can't make free throws. I'm lying, exaggerating, but Kevin has a thing. Big man can't shoot free throws. Yeah. It's like the early 2000s anymore, bro.
Man.
It's not the Shaq and Hakeem and
Like, Pau Gasol can make his free throws.
oh, I love Pau.
And he was 7'2".
Yeah.
How come you can't make your free throws?
I personally I could, but or I believe I could anyways. But I get the point. But Dwight's been making them.
Well, he hasn't been making that many.
77%, bro. I don't care about the attempts. I care about the percentage.
No, I'm looking at the percentage right now. Look, I'll relook it up, but it looks like he was shooting 33%.
From what? For a game or for the season?
For the season, I think he's only shot 9.
Huh.
33%. Yeah, 33%.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many free throws?
9.
So you
He's made 3 out of 9.
Pull that off the top of your head.
No, he's Dwight Howard. He has not changed when it comes to free throw shooting. That's why you can't leave him in your closing lineup.
Okay, but how many times have you seen a lob from AD to Dwight or AD to McGee? You don't like that?
No, I like that.
That dimension that it gives you because you give AD the ball in the mid post.
Mm-hmm.
The defense is going to come. Yeah, he'll just throw the little lob. That's a guaranteed 2 points.
Yeah.
So despite the free throw percentage, if Dwight is getting
like if it's in the last 2 minutes, it's fine because you can't foul because you end up
it's always in bonus.
Yeah, but the whole fourth quarter, no.
Mm-hmm. I'm not talking about the whole fourth quarter.
Okay, just the last 2 minutes.
No, I'm talking about last 5.
Okay.
When I say closing, I mean the last 5. Okay. Because 2 minutes is just that's real winning time. Like
yeah,
I'm not throwing nobody in there unless it's foul trouble or somebody fouled out or somebody got hurt or something like that. The last 2 minutes, I'm not really trying to make any adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting my closing lineup out there at the 5-minute mark in the fourth quarter. So there's 5 minutes left. That's when I want my best closers out there.
Yeah, kill them.
Exactly. Either we're up, okay, we're up, go put your foot on their throat.
Yeah.
Or we're down, get us back in this game and pull it out for us. Yeah. So I'm going from the last 5 minutes. And I don't think teams are going to be so easy to foul Dwight because then you're still putting them in foul trouble. And then anytime they touch AD, and AD's killing it from the line.
It might.
Or it might cause somebody to foul out. It might cause a Gobert to foul out.
Yeah, it might. I think it would work on most teams except the Clippers because they do have a lot of low post depth. They have a lot of low post guys.
But they're all 6'7", 6'8". They're the Draymond Green types.
Yeah. I mean, they were throwing them at AD. He was killing them, but they just kept throwing them. I was like, how many more guys you got?
Yeah. But still, like, I don't know. I think the White is more of a positive.
Oh, this year?
Negative, yeah.
Look, this year, he has... I'm buying it.
You like it?
Yeah. It's the best Dwight Howard I've seen since he left Orlando.
Sorry. I agree. Even the first in a round, he wasn't this good.
Yeah.
The numbers are going to be better, but for what we needed in his role, he didn't fit as well as he does now.
Yeah.
And I think that's why a lot of Lakers fans have come back around to him. And I'm one of them. I don't know about you, but I appreciate everything that he's given and that he's been doing. And I appreciate it so much that, hell, I'm sitting here saying that I would put him in my closing lineup. Now, starting the game, I still like JaVale. And I've heard a lot of people argue that JaVale should be coming off the bench and Dwight should be a starter. And I don't agree with that because JaVale, he started for a championship team in Golden State. And JaVale's entire career, the knock on him was he's only going to give you about 15 to 18 minutes anyways, even if he's a starter. So if he's only giving us 15 to 18 minutes and Dwight is playing 26, 27, 28, Dwight is still getting those starter minutes.
Yeah, I mean...
You start JaVale. You start JaVale because that's how you keep him engaged.
Yeah.
And you don't want to lose him because if he becomes unengaged, he's going to go back to the Shaq to the Fool JaVale that we saw in D.C. You get what I'm saying? So you want him engaged, and despite playing so few minutes, the way to keep him engaged is, look, you're a starter, bro. You're a starter on this team. That means you have some sort of leadership responsibility. Mm-hmm. You know, you're not the leader of the team, but you are a leader presence.
Okay.
And you keep him engaged like that, and we've seen Vogel do it, and we saw Steve Kerr do it. He'll play 6 minutes of the first quarter, 6 minutes of the third quarter, and we won't see him again. He'll get 12 minutes, but he's technically the starter.
Yeah.
But then you look at the box score, you look at the minutes, and Dwight is playing starter minutes.
Yeah.
So that's why I wouldn't put Dwight in the starting lineup. Plus, I want the energy, and like I said earlier in the show,
great energy.
Yeah, what he's been doing, how he's been pumping up the crowd, how he's been keeping the bench motivated. He's cheering everybody on. Even JaVale. JaVale makes a big play, and Dwight could be sitting there and upset and sulking about it because that's, in a way, his competition.
Mm-hmm.
But no, JaVale made a big dunk and a nice no-look pass against Miami, and the first person off the bench was Dwight.
Yeah.
So I like everything he's bringing in. I think that bench roll is perfect for what we needed.
That was the biggest question mark because it was either Dwight Howard. Who was the other?
Joakim Noah and Murray Spates.
Yeah. So
which Mo Spates would have been nice to stretch the floor, but he's only like 6'8", 6'9".
Yeah.
So he's very undersized. Joakim, he was in New York after Chicago, and he said that he was partying too much basically in New York, and that's why he was ineffective.
Well, he's going to do the same thing out here in LA.
Exactly.
Why would I?
Exactly. And the recent injury history, and I know Dwight only played 9 games last year.
And the celebrity list out here is a lot longer.
Exactly. So I wasn't a big fan. When Boogie, I was thinking about Dwight before we signed Boogie. Once we got Boogie, I thought Boogie was the right choice.
Yeah, Boogie's still the right choice.
Yeah. But then he hurt his ACL, and then now we have to find other options because Boogie clearly is not an option. There's rumors that he might come back,
maybe,
but we don't know. Yeah. They said they haven't shut the door on him.
Look, if he comes back, Lakers are running horns, last 5 minutes, it's over.
Yeah. In the last 5 minutes, then I'd take Boogie and I put him in for Howard. Yeah.
Yes.
And him with AD and Braun and whatever 2 guards you want.
And that was my ideal closing 5. It was LeBron, AD, Boogie, and stretch the floor with Danny Green and Kyle Kuzma. That's your 5.
Yeah. But we don't, as of now, we don't have Boogie. So after Boogie went down, I started looking at Dwight Howard. Yeah, as a basketball fan, I understood the fit, and I thought, well, that might work. But as a Laker fan, I was like, no, this. I'm glad Rob did it, though. I'm glad Rob did it because I probably would not have had the balls to pull that off. I might, if I was actually sitting in as a GM of the Lakers, in my heart, I would have wanted Dwight. But I might have went for Joakim just for just for public appearance and
I mean,
Rob took a chance and he is looking
fans.
like a genius right now. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, there were even rumors about how Dwight Howard wanted the Lakers to trade Kobe. And I mean, they may have only been rumors.
Yeah.
But it was just enough.
He tried to get Kobe out. Yeah.
Piss you off as a Laker fan, like
especially a Kobe fan.
Yeah. Oh, this man deserves nothing. I hope you never get any rings.
Who is Dwight Howard? You got here 1 year.
Yeah.
You were here 1 year and you asking us to trade. In my mind, let me preface it by saying that you're asking us to trade the best Laker of all time. In my mind. Now, there's a lot of people out there that will agree with me on that.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that won't. A lot of people that will say Magic.
Best or second best doesn't matter. For you?
Yeah.
No.
Exactly.
No.
But let's kind of wrap this up here because I don't know how long we've been going exactly, but I feel like it's been about an hour and a half, 2 hours now. I'm just looking at the time. Last topic. When is the next Lakers loss? Let's take a look at the schedule coming up because I've been previewing it and it looks like a cakewalk. We have Toronto on Sunday the 10th, which is tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
We have Phoenix on November 12th. My birthday. Shout out to me. That's a road game. Back-to-back the next night against the Warriors. Now, I don't consider that a real back-to-back because that flight from Phoenix to LA is about 45 minutes. Yeah, that's like driving to the arena.
Although I do hate flying out of Phoenix.
Yeah, I haven't flown out of Phoenix. I think I might have flown out of it one time, but I got there on a layover. I didn't.
They have this windstorm when you're taking off. You'll feel it. Really? It feels like the plane is about to just break apart. And I've flown out of there and in there at least 5 or 6 times. And every single time with different airlines, it feels the same thing.
Right. See, I've never had that experience. I've been to Phoenix Airport one time for a layover.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I recall, I didn't have any memorable flight or anything like that. The most times you remember a flight is for negative reasons.
Yes.
So the fact that I don't remember it, I didn't really have no problem yet. So I'm glad I didn't have your experiences. But we got the Phoenix Suns on my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
First part of a back-to-back. Next part is Warriors at home. The next day on this coming Wednesday. Game is on ESPN. The Kings, that should be a win. So now we're looking at 8, 9, 10, 11, and 1 after the Kings game. The Hawks, we talked about them a little bit, but that should still. If we come back with the loss to any of these, that's inexcusable. So that's 11. Back to back against the Thunder, home and home. Now I think Chris Paul might cook us, but the Thunder don't really have it. And that's somebody.
He's not even doing all that much.
But that's somebody else we didn't talk about. Steven Adams. Steven Adams is a great defensive big man.
He is.
He might put the clamps on AD. So I don't expect the Thunder to make any noise as far as the season goes, but they might give the Lakers hell because they have a great defensive big man and a great perimeter guard. Now, let's hope Avery Bradley can do something with Chris Paul.
Yeah, but have you seen what Chris Paul's averaging?
No, I have not.
16 points, 5 rebounds. 5 assists.
How many rebounds?
3. He's not doing much. He's chilling.
Yeah, he's chilling. He's waiting to get traded to the championship.
He wanted to get paid. Yeah. For a long time, he said, "I want to get paid." He's finally getting paid, and he's not letting go of that money. So I'm not surprised he.
So after those 2 Thunder games, that assuming they win all those, that would put them at 14-1, a 14-game winning streak. But it's still not tough. You have the Grizzlies.
That's a win.
15-1.
Yeah.
You have the Spurs on the road in San Antonio again. They might get challenged there.
Yeah.
But if they win, they're at 16-1.
Yeah.
Then you come back with the Pelicans and the Wizards at home.
Okay. So the Pelicans might be a challenge.
You think B.I. and Zoe are going to be motivated?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
B.I. is balling out. We haven't given him any credit. He's been having a great season so far.
Yeah, he's averaging like 25 points?
25, 26, 27, somewhere around
there. They're gonna give the Lakers a game. Even if the Lakers win that game, they're gonna come out with Josh Hart's gonna be on there.
Mm-hmm.
Zoe's gonna score like more than 10 points.
Nah, I don't buy that. Zoe's not a scorer. Because Avery's not gonna be on B.I. B.I. is too long.
Yeah.
So who are you putting?
I would put LeBron on B.I.
Yeah, but who are you putting Avery on? Zoe. You think Zoe is scoring 10 points on 10, 15, 20 points on Avery Bradley?
I think he can get away with it. I'm not saying he's going to score 30. I said like 10 points. Like he'll have a double-double.
For Lonzo, 20 points is like him scoring 50. The dude is scared to shoot the ball, man. We talked about how bad DeAndre Jordan and Dwight Howard were at shooting free throws. Look at Zoe last year
you're a basketball player.
As a point guard.
Like, you're a basketball player. Why are you scared to shoot the ball?
Easiest shot in the game. Nobody contesting you. Nobody even stand. It's you. I don't understand how NBA players can get paid multi-million dollars a year and not be able to shoot free throws, but I'm not an NBA player.
Yeah, that's true.
After that... Maybe
if you couldn't shoot free throws, you get in.
Maybe. That's the trick. Kids, don't practice your free throws. But then you get the Wizards at home. to close out November. That's a win. Come on.
Yeah, that team is terrible.
So what game to end November do you think the Lakers will lose, or do you think they'll win all of them? Because I think
they should win all of them.
That's how I feel. They should win all of them, but me knowing the NBA, I feel like there's a trap game in here somewhere. If I had to pick it, if I absolutely had to pick the trap game, I would say it's November 12th against the Suns.
Yeah.
Or the November 25th against Spurs. Yes.
Spurs, yeah. Yeah, either one of those games.
But if they can get out of those two games with the win, I think the rest of the schedule is a win. And that will put them at what? 16-1, 17-1, 18-1? Going into December?
Yeah.
Okay, you have the Mavs who tested us, but they're coming here. Then you go to Denver and Utah and Portland. That's tough.
Lakers are going to lose one of those games. I can guarantee
Denver,
it.
Utah, and Portland?
Mavs, Nuggets, Jazz, Portland.
Oh, so you're extending this out to December 1st. You think they could possibly lose to the Mavs at home?
Yeah, because, look, as a Laker fan, we all know we have problems in Portland.
Oh, yeah. We talked about this before we started recording. It doesn't matter if it's the Moda Center or the Rose Garden or whatever.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, since I started watching early 2000s, we've had hard times. I don't know about you. You started watching about 10 years before I did.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. It didn't matter.
Yeah, that's the story that I've been living with as well. I'm sure a lot of other Laker fans can relate to that. But when is the Lakers' next loss? Assuming they beat Phoenix and assuming they beat San Antonio, do they really make it to December 1st with one loss?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, the schedule's so easy.
It's very easy.
And it's not their fault, but I'll take it.
Oh, yeah. We need to stockpile these wins now.
I'm sure Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers will fall behind because, they're down with the load management.
Well, like I said, we need to load manage LeBron in the right way. And us stockpiling these wins now
will help.
Exactly. So then when we get, who do we play in March? When we get the Pelicans March 1st, who are trash, by then, hopefully, we've already locked up our playoff seat. Can we sit LeBron night?
I think we could probably sit him on the later part of March.
We have the Pistons in Detroit, March 22nd.
Yeah.
LeBron or AD has to sit that game, right? One of them.
Yeah.
The Wizards on March 23rd. The Cavs on March 26th. Both on the road. Those should be two easy wins, with or without LeBron and or AD.
I'm pretty sure LeBron's going to want to play against the Cavs.
Okay, so you sit AD versus the Cavs, and you sit LeBron during the Wizard game and keep one of them on. But that's what I'm saying. That's how we need to load manage. We need to look at and find our spots to where to load manage without doing what the Clippers are doing blatantly,
Yeah, I know.
So you overall, you think they're getting to December 1st without a loss?
December 1st without a loss.
Okay, I'm at the point. I want to go with that. I want to agree with you, but
I mean, if we had young players, it'd be different.
Yeah,
I would think that they're going to fall in the trap against a team like the Spurs.
Right,
for sure, the Spurs.
Well, that's where I'm picking my next loss is November 25th.
So you're going with one. Lakers have 2 losses going into December 1st.
Exactly. I think they win everything else, but I think the Spurs are going to get them because the Spurs almost got them. Now they might go back in San Antonio and want some vengeance for a close game, but I think the Spurs will get them at least once this year, and they only play 3 times.
Yeah.
So they're going to go back to San Antonio, and at that point, the win streak will be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. How much do you expect from a team on a 15-game win streak? You know they're going to be tired.
They're going to be tired.
And I think the Spurs are that trap game. So I think they'll be 17-2 come December 1st. You think they'll be 18-1?
18-1.
Okay.
Just like the Patriots.
Oh God! But that was a Super Bowl they lost, man. That was the last game of the season. They were about damn near done. If I remember when the Lakers got Gary Payton and Karl Malone, and on KCAL 9 after they lost their first game, it was Well, not 82-0. How about 82-1? I was about 11, 12 years old, and I bought it. Yeah, that's right. But that's how you sound to me right now. You just think they about to blow everybody out.
I don't think they'll blow everyone out, but I mean, this part of the teams we're playing with, they're just not very good. They're just not very good.
And that's why I think they're going to make it all the way to November 25th.
Yeah. And the teams that we play, the teams that we play that are difficult, they're spaced. It's spaced out. Like even in January, like another tough stretch is on January 18th. We play the Rockets.
Uh-huh.
And then the next game, 2 days later. At
the Celtics.
Yeah, at the Celtics. Then we play the Knicks and the Nets. And then we get the 76ers. So we have all the good teams we need to play spaced out. The schedule is meant for the Lakers to be the first seed in the playoffs.
Okay. See, I don't think that way about the season, just for the simple fact that I think the Lakers are built for the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I think they'll be fine coasting into a 4th or 5th seed. But that's why I think that this first part of the season is so important, because we need to stockpile these wins now, because we might not get them at the end of the year. And even if we are able to get them at the end of the year, we still need to have some sort of cushion so that when we sit LeBron and we come to him like, yo, look, we've already locked up a top 3 seed. You really don't need to go tonight against Detroit.
That's for sure. Detroit, that's a bad team.
You don't need to go against Atlanta. You don't need to go against the Magic. We don't need you. You get what I'm saying? So take your game off now. I'm not saying sit him 20 games like Kawhi is going to do, but it's a lot like, you want load management, be up 20 going into the 4th quarter. And the season-long equivalent to that is have a playoff seed locked up early. So that now we
can rest you.
Yeah, even if we lose, okay, our seeding might change, but we're concerned about getting to the playoffs and having you for the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think that if the Lakers try to go all out and try to get the first seed or the second seed, that's where they're going to go wrong. They need to be okay with the 4 or 5 seed and understand this is a team built for the playoffs.
You going with the 4 or 5 seed?
If we get to the playoffs, I'm happy. Here's why. Because we haven't been to the playoffs for so long. And like I said, this is a team built for the playoffs. When the playoffs start and the game slows just down, is not going to work in the Lakers' favor?
It will, but you need that, like, home court advantage means so much more in basketball than any other sport.
I get that point too, and I agree with it. But at the same time, I think they have the veteran leadership, and LeBron is on a mission. And even though home court means so much more in the NBA than any other sport, I can say the same thing. One player in the NBA changes and impacts a game more than one player in any other sport.
Yeah.
So even if we come in, say, God forbid, we get the 8 seed, and LeBron is still a top 3 player in the world, talent is going to win out regardless in the NBA. So I'm not so much worried about, we need home court. Would I like home court? Who wouldn't? But I think this is a team built for the playoffs, and that even if we come in 4 or 5, home court doesn't matter to LeBron. We saw what he did in Cleveland. His last year in Cleveland, he was the 4 seed. Went on the road and beat the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. Went on the road and swept the Toronto Raptors, who won the championship the next year with Kawhi. Granted, Kawhi wasn't on that team yet. It was still DeMar DeRozan. But you swept them the year before they won the championship. That has to say something.
I would agree with you if he had done this in the West. But he did this on the East, where
things are a lot easier.
A lot easier. And you don't have to play a team like the Houston Rockets. You don't have to play a team like the Denver Nuggets or the Utah Jazz. All those teams are scary. They all have their 2 or 3 players.
Yeah, the Jazz and the Nuggets scare me in the playoffs.
Yeah, Portland scares me in the playoffs.
Whiteside? Or is it Dame?
Dame.
So it's backcourt?
Killer. He's a killer.
I'm more concerned about Whiteside.
I mean,
although I do love Dame, I love his game, and
If the Lakers could get Dame,
yes,
with AD,
now he's locked in long term. He's like he just signed, I think, a max contract this year. So they would have to give up something significant, crazy. Which they can't do because, not for the next couple of years, anyways. But I'm still in love with Booker and AD. I think that I've thought about it a lot. I think that combination is great. I might go on 2K right now and try that out. Real talk. But is there anything else you want to add?
I think we're good. I think it's a good start.
Okay, so you're saying December 1st is the next loss. I'm saying November 25th against Spurs.
December 1st.
At home to the Mavs.
18-1.
Okay. We'll see. All right. I'm gonna make a Twitter for this YouTube channel. I'll drop the link in that description box down below. Like I said, if you guys can please like, subscribe, and share this channel, that would do great for us. I hope you enjoyed the inaugural. Did I pronounce that right?
Inaugural?
Yeah, inaugural. There we go. Episode of the Purple and Gold Hoops podcast. This is Adam and Kevin signing off. If you want to say goodbye to the people.
Peace.
All right. You guys have a good night. We'll talk to you later.